Democrats are working to add clean energy programs to the $3.5 trillion spending bill. This, of course, might lead to job cuts for oil and coal workers. And Democratic Congressman Andy Levin is urging Democratic leaders to add investments in the Build Back Better Act to assist those workers who might be impacted by the shift to clean energy. Congressman joins me now live. Appreciate your time, Congressman. Thank you so much.
Hey, Jackie, it's great to be with you.
So explain to me what you're trying to do here, the impact on blue-collar workers, and what you're trying to ask leadership to do to adjust that.
You know, Jackie, we've got to make this transition to renewable energy as fast as possible. But the first thing we have to do to get there is to help the workers who are impacted by it. So we've got to go to the people most impacted, coal workers, people who work on fossil fuels in other ways, like on pipelines and in refineries, and say, this isn't your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. And if you are impacted, you should be held harmless in terms of wages, benefits, a bridge to pension, your pension when you retire, and a kind of a GI plan for job training. Because if you're younger and you can still work, we need you for the American economy to be firing on all cylinders. We need everybody working. So let's make sure we take care of those coal and oil and other workers right out of the gate. And then I think we'll have a lot better ability to move towards renewables as quickly as possible.
So you're touching on something that I think is really interesting, because it sounds like the proposals that you're making might increase the cost of this bill. The price tag in the Senate is something that is, off-putting to people like Joe Manchin, who also is, from West Virginia, very involved in making sure that coal mining doesn't affect his state. He's been pushing.
These are his constituents.
Exactly.
Yeah, these are his constituents.
But is that increase in the price tag going to push someone like Joe Manchin, who might want that, away from supporting you?
I don't think so, because look, this is part of the Senate's workup of this. The Senate is including this on their side. So then you have to figure out, what is the Senate doing, what is the House doing, and put them together. But here's the bottom line. People talk about $3.5 trillion. It's not in 1 year, it's in 10 years. And we have to have plans, and we can have plans to pay for the whole thing with increasing taxes on the wealthiest individuals and having corporations pay taxes. You saw how many corporations don't pay any effective taxes at all. So, and then we can empower the IRS to actually have, collect the taxes that wealthy people and corporations already owe. So there's a lot we could do to pay for this. And there's no reason to see this as, a $3.5 trillion increase in the debt or deficit. It's the net cost of it, and that can be zero if we pay for the darn thing. And that's what I think we should do.
Well, and as we're talking about this $3.5 trillion reconciliation bill, the irony is that we're also trying to raise the debt ceiling, and that's another separate but somewhat related battle that's going on the Hill right now. But right. I also wanted to just quickly ask you, you made a few points about how this can get paid for and raising taxes on corporations. Do you think that that's something that you can actually get Democrats to agree on? Because that can be a politically toxic thing to, raise the cost of doing business.
You know what? There's nothing more popular with the American people than letting the top 1%, the top few percent, finally pay their fair share. Let's go back to the way it was in the golden era of capitalism in the 20th centuries, the 60s, the 50s, the 40s, when rich people paid much more in taxes and corporations, and they didn't whine about it. I mean, look, if you're going to get rich off this amazing society, God bless you, but pay your darn share of taxes. I don't know. That's not politically toxic at all. That's called the American way, and it's super popular with the working class people here in Michigan in the 9th District. I'll tell you that much.
All right. Well, big week ahead, a lot to watch on the Hill. Congressman, really appreciate your time. Hope to have you back again soon.
Thanks, Jackie. It's great to see you. Take care of yourself.
Thanks.